Everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today we're going to talk a little bit about prepping for family members with special needs. So one of the things you don't hear a lot about when you look into prepping and things like that are how are you going to prep for members of your family that have special needs. And those can be all sorts of different things, whether it's special food requirements, disabilities, physical, sensory disorders, things like that. I'm a mom who has a couple of special needs kids, and I'll tell you, they require a little bit different stuff. So it's not your everyday run-of-the-mill, you got to have A, B, C, D, and E. Sometimes we have to think and remember that, one of my kids doesn't do well. So getting them to transition is, we have to really work at stuff, and we have to think about in advance. If we had to leave the home, it could be very traumatic at any certain moment. All of a sudden we have to pick up and leave our home. If we had to do that, it would be extremely difficult. So we like to try and practice things in advance. Like, we will grab a backpack and head off into the woods and go for a little hike around the backyard or something. And things like that, those little preparation things can be extremely handy. Or if you have a child that is soothed or calmed down by watching, a video or listening to music or something like that, knowing that you're going to need some kind of solar power to charge up those devices so you can use it, so they are able to have that special song or something, whatever it is that they like. Being prepared for that is really important. If the grid goes down and your child is used to having a certain song every night before they go to bed, you are going to want to have that solar powered thing just so you can get that. I mean, even if it's something that little, or even markers, crayons, paper, coloring books, things like that, to help them focus on something so they're not worrying about what's going on around them. When you've got a grid down situation, having stuff to keep your kids busy is going to help you also. I mean, you're going to have some extra work to do. You're going to have to, if you got to collect water and firewood and things like that, you need to find something that's going to help your child be able to stay calm, and so you can get done what you need to do so you can take care of them. And also it's going to help them, it's going to make the whole situation easier. So it's really important to think about what things do they really love, what helps soothe them. One of my kids, when she gets anxious, she loves to play with slime and Play-Doh and things like that. So I always try to make sure that we have the materials to whip up a batch of slime if we have to. Because if the power is out for a couple of days, a week, a month, we can still do that and give her that little thing to help her be calm and give me a moment to cook some food or go out and get wood or water or whatever that I have to do. We also want to remember, if we have someone that has physical disabilities, our plan may not be to head out into the woods to bug out. I mean, if you've got someone in a wheelchair or with a walker or something like that, that's not really an option for you. And coming up with different options and something that's going to work for them and getting that into your plan, I think that is really important. Some people don't think about that. They're like, oh, we'll just grab grandma and chuck her over our shoulder and we'll go. Well, if you got to hike a long ways, that's going to be pretty heavy with all the other stuff you have to carry. So I think it's important to just, what is going to work? Do you have a cabin? Do you have a handicap accessible place that you could go if you have someone that's handicapped? In your family, you want to make sure that you've got that all written out in your plan. And so when something happens, if you have a hurricane and you have to leave, where are you going to take your family member that's in a wheelchair, has a walker, something like that. It has to be accessible, and you have to be able to help them get them there. So those are things that a lot of people don't talk about, because not everybody can jump up and throw on a backpack and run out into the woods. It's just not everybody can do that. And that's okay. There are lots of other options, but planning for that and being prepared for it, and even having, you know, today, if the grid went down today and tomorrow I fell off the steps and broke my leg, you know, I got to be prepared for that too. If I can't get to the doctor, I have a pair of crutches in the house. I have a walker in the house. I don't need them right now. We have canes, we have crutches, things like that. From previous injuries, we always keep that stuff, or you can pick some of that stuff up at the thrift store very, very cheap. I have seen walkers, pot chairs, shower chairs, all sorts of stuff for like $5. And having that on hand is really a great thing to have in case of an emergency. You may not need it today, but if, you know, everything goes sour and you've got that stuff, then at least you're ready and you're going to be okay. So whether your family member has a physical, mental, developmental, emotional, sensory issues, whatever they have that's going on that gives them that they need a little extra something, having that in the back of your head when you are planning, and even food stuff. Remember, if you have someone that you're prepping for their food and things like that, that can't have salt, can't have fat, can't have peanut butter, you want to make sure to keep that in the back of your mind, that you're prepared for that. And those little special needs things can really add up, and it really can make a difference in a grid down situation or any kind of disaster situation. If you're prepared, then you're going to make it so much better for you and for them. Because I know that if my daughters, or, you know, even if I had someone else's child or someone that I had to take care of in an emergency situation, because you might be helping other family members, you may all get together, having everything to keep everybody at bay, and, you know, at least enough. We keep, you know, some comfort snacks for the kids, just to help them get through. And if the grid goes down and we have no electricity, and we want to keep as much normalcy as we can for them, even if it's that little box of Cheez-Its or a favorite little granola bar or something like that. I mean, those little things really can make your day. I keep jars of chocolate for me, and coffee, you know, all that stuff. You got to have those little special things that are just going to help you get through that emergency. And it's important. So just try to remember when you're making your plan to, if you've got to leave the house, your plan is going to be A, B, C, D. And because of little Johnny, it's got to go like this. So, you know, just keep those things in mind, that all those little things that people can need to get through the day for them, it's going to help you get through the day too. It really is, because, you know, if someone is just losing control, it makes it stressful for you, and you're going to have a hard time thinking and being rational when you've got all this stuff going on. So a box of crayons or some markers or even some stuff to make slime, you know, it can come in really handy in a moment of need. And that's it for today. If you guys have any other ideas for special needs, I know we have our own set of special needs here in our home and things that work for us, but there are lots of other things that work for other people. And if you have something that you prepare for someone in your family that has special needs, please put it in the comments down below. Let's help each other. That is what this is all about. If we're prepared, we're going to get through emergencies much better, and it's going to be easier on us. Although it can be stressful and hard, it will be easier if you're prepared. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you subscribed and joined our family. Our subscribers are just amazing. If you look down through the comments, you're going to see all kinds of great ideas. Everyone is so helpful and nice, and I just love that. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.